I was gonna start twerking for real, but I was like, let me stop. I feel so horrible. Let me stop. I can barely move. Oof. Oof.
What up, y'all? Welcome to the channel.
Hello.
We are recording our first episode of our new podcast.
First ever number 1 episode
Wifey
in the
and
world.
Wifey.
Wifey and Wifey. Wifey and what?
The name of the podcast is Wifey and Wifey.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the Instagram handle that we wanted, so we had to make some sacrifices.
Y'all, that Instagram handle.
All y'all sitting on Wifey and Wifey, any variation of that.
Wifey X Wifey. Wifey and Wifey. Wifey
with
dot
no
and
followers,
Wifey.
and you haven't posted since 2018. We beefing.
It's cool though. So y'all can follow us on Instagram at Wifey, letter N, Wifey. That channel will be all about us, our journey, who we are, our love.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we are gonna get into recording the first episode of our podcast, Wifey and Wifey. It is gonna be fun.
Fantastic.
Hope you guys enjoy it. If you're on our YouTube channel, you will be able to look at our beautiful faces and see the weird stuff that we do when we're talking to each other, especially when unexpected things happen. So,
also, we do have a little smidge of ADHD. I've been sitting here for a while, so you might see me playing with the TV remote. Nerf bullets. There's a bottle cap over there. Some things might happen. I am sorry.
I guess we shouldn't
Sour
eat
patch.
on TV
No,
or whatever.
don't do that.
But things happen around here. You just never know.
Yeah, go ahead and chew up. Chew up. But yeah, we're really excited. We wanted to try something different and creative. We've been vlogging a little bit, but that's been a little hard to do because we do just work and come home because the Rona.
And we really are homebodies anyway, y'all.
We truly are.
Outside of homegirl Rona.
That is the truth.
So, you know.
Yeah. So we thought maybe the podcast would be a little bit more copacetic with our lifestyle of being, I am a full 30-year-old grown old lady. My back hurt right now.
That's fine.
I just found 2 more gray hairs.
Get over here,
so
girl. Come on.
I'm trying to get
camera. Why are you running so far? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but we're about to get into it. If you just stumbled on our YouTube account, welcome to the craziness. If you've come here from the podcast, oh my gosh, hello.
Hey guys.
I'm so happy that you found us.
Like, comment, and subscribe on this video. You know what I'm saying? We would definitely appreciate it. And, you know, leave us a comment. Communicate with us.
What topics do you want us to go over? What questions do you have? What do you think about my hair? Like, just talk to me.
You guys aren't going to see my hair today. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, communicate with us. We definitely want to know how you guys feel, how you enjoy us, and, you know, get a rapport going with you guys. You're our people. You know what I'm talking about? So
We're a family.
Not creepy like that. But yeah, we're about to get into this podcast. So you guys sit back and enjoy. What's good, y'all? Welcome to our first episode of our new podcast, Wifey and Wifey. I am Wavy, and this is my gorgeous wife over here.
Oh.
Say hey, baby.
Hello, party people. I'm Tuesday. Welcome to Wifey and Wifey. This is a podcast where we plan to run our mouths about everything under the sun. We will also be posting videos of our beautiful faces on YouTube. The videos are going to be of the episodes, and there you can see the crazy looks that my wife gives me when I just be talking the truth, y'all. And she just be looking at me like I'm all sorts of crazy.
Because she is all sorts of crazy.
So, what is going to be our inaugural episode? What topic are we going over today?
So today, the first thing we're going to do is give you guys a little insight into who we are.
Yes.
We're also kind of going to get into that famous topic of people arguing over whether your kids or your spouse is supposed to be number one in your head and hearts, guys.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
We're also going to kind of get into parenting styles today, how we were raised versus how we want to raise our kids, and so on and so forth. So
Sorry,
it is going
Mom.
So it's going to be a good one today. We are going to definitely enjoy this topic today. But first, how are you, my love? How's it going?
I am excited. If you're on the YouTube, you see my attempt of dancing. I do not do it well.
She has no rhythm.
When I am excited, we are finally getting this little podcast, which we've been wanting to do for forever. Finally getting it off the ground. 2021 is going to be the year that we just do all things that make us happy. And I get to do it with my wonderful wife. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. It's been a good day. We are starting a new journey that I feel like is going to be for us. You know, the things that are for you are for you. You know what I mean? So it'll be great. It'll be fun. We're going to have a good time.
Yes.
And hopefully entertain you guys a little bit and start some dialogue with you guys. It's going to be pretty dope. But before we get into it, we're going to take a small break.
Uno momento. Quick break, and then we'll jump right back into it, okay?
Yep, right back into it. We do weird stuff, guys. Sorry.
All right, we are back again. First episode of the Wifey and Wifey podcast. So I'll quickly introduce us a little bit. I'm Tuesday, aka Donica. I have to say my aka because my wife will not call me Tuesday, and more than likely I won't respond to Tuesday. She is Wavy, aka Taylor, but I just call her baby, if I'm gonna be quite honest. And that's just a lot of names, but I feel like you guys are smart. You're our people. You're intelligent. You can keep up. We have been married for
a secret amount of time.
We had our wedding in 2018.
Yes.
In April 2018 on the
28th.
anniversary. Yeah. The 28th, which is the day after the anniversary of when we first met, quote unquote. We met online, so, I mean, did we meet in person on the 27th?
No, that was the day we first started talking.
The first interaction.
And 2 weeks later, we decided that we were a couple, guys.
Yes, we was U-hauling from the very beginning. We met the 27th of April. We became an official couple 2 months later.
Oh,
no, 2 weeks later.
On May the 13th, guys.
And then 2 weeks after that, we were looking for apartments together. So literally a month after we met, we had signed our first lease and we're planning to move in together. Would not recommend.
Not that it turned out badly for us.
It's been great. It's been fun.
But we are the exception, not the rule.
Not the rule. Don't go moving with that girl. You'll know her.
Because I could have been crazy. I mean, I am crazy.
You know what's funny? And it halfway upset me at the time. I asked Wavy right before we were going to move in together. We were young. We were in our early 20s. So we were moving out of our mom's places to move in together. And I asked her, I said, are you nervous about having a lease with me and being stuck in a lease with me? And she said, no, because if it goes back, I'm going to move back in with my mama. And I was just like, wow, this girl is really not in this. And I don't know what I just got myself into.
She tells that. Yeah, she tells that story all the time. But I have no memory of ever saying that.
She looked me dead in my eyes and told me that, like,
I don't even know if it's true. I think she might have made it up.
And I will move. Why would you think that?
I think she might have made it up. Like our god baby says, I just made that up. I think she just made it up. She tells the story so much though that I think she believes it in her heart of hearts. But I don't remember that happening. Like, honey, I just do not.
Baby girl, you told me if I had the ounce of being on your nerves that you was gonna be gone. And I don't even know why you don't believe that, because that's so your personality. You tell me all the time now. We've been married. We've been together since 2013. Yeah. So going on 8 years. And I still to this day know that if worse comes to worse, you will leave and you will be at your mama's house. We're about to have whole kids and you would still leave me and be at Lisa's house tomorrow.
She's so dramatic. I would not leave her and be at my mama's house. She always talk about, I'ma do something. I would be in this mug, in this bitch, mad with her. We're just gonna be mad at each other.
Oh, God.
And she know that I just won't talk to her for a few days. So, I don't know why she being so dramatic. It's cool, though.
I'm dramatic because I'm a writer. I'm an author, self-published, indie, however you want to say it. I'm very exaggerant all the time, pretty much. I use big words for no reason, and I'm not ashamed. That's why I call myself Tuesday. I've been writing under Tuesday Harper for the last couple of years, and branding.
Yeah. So I am a painter. I paint. I do abstracts, pours. If you want something, hit me up. But that's why she's trying to brand me as Wavy. I don't know how I feel about it.
I definitely asked you. I said, do you want to go with Wavy when you're selling your paintings?
No. The paintings are fine.
Oh, you don't want to be Wavy on here.
Honey, she's trying to
Wavy.
Consistent branding across all platforms.
And my wife. Whew.
And I am a difficult human being. I am a Pisces. I have to go with my feels, how it comes to me in my heart.
Yes. I am a Virgo. And very much a typical Virgo. Supposedly Pisces and Virgo. One, they're not necessarily compatible, but they're also people say they're the least compatible with other people, and we found each other and we found love. Oh my God, we're so in love.
Weirdly, we are very much alike. Yes. But we are different
in
very
ways.
Different.
Yeah.
It's so weird. We're alike in ways that most couples would feel are very important.
Yeah,
but then we're so different in the way that we
interact and express ourselves.
Grow. It's so weird, but it's love, and that's how our love manifested. We manifested to find each other.
Yes.
And it's wonderful, guys. And
she's so cute. I'm so lucky. She puts up with all of my bullshit because I
promise you, we had been together not even that long. And I don't even remember what happened. And Donica punched the roof of her car, y'all. It was the funniest thing ever. Yeah. And I probably shouldn't have found it funny, but I did. It was hilarious. Yeah. And I had to just think in my mind, I was like, you cannot laugh because this is not the situation for that. You have to love her. You have to make her feel better. And I didn't even know what to do because I was 21.
And I still had my little angsty issues.
Yeah, it was
she
so
loved
funny.
me through it. And I wouldn't have done it, sis. I would have ran for the hills. I would not have put up with me. So that's why I say I'm so lucky because my wife is so patient and kind. And she stuck around until I got my shit together.
Man, we grew. I tell people, oh my God, I tell people that all the time, and they think I'm joking. I tell them all the time, like, me and my wife grew up together,
yes,
and I think,
very much so.
like, sometimes they think, like, oh, we've known each other for a really, really long time. But I mean, me personally, I feel like most of the important growing that you do is once you're an adult out on your own, like, that's when you do the most growing. That's when you do the important growing. And I mean, I was 21 when we met. She was 22 when we met. I literally just turned 21 a month before we met, a month and a half before we met. And she turned 23 like 5 months after we met.
Yeah.
So it's like we were young, you know what I mean? And we've just had to learn to communicate, adapt, and grow together.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot together, and
very much so.
Our relationship is like, it's strong. You know what I mean? Like, there's very few things that I could ever imagine like breaking us, you know? And I think that's why like some of today's topics are kind of where we wanted to go. Because these are going to be things that people kind of feel are make or break. You know what I mean?
And are they? I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see.
I guess so. I mean, just on that, you know, just going into the first portion of this, like, the whole, is your spouse more important or are your kids more important? Like, yes. How do you feel about that, baby? Like, how do you feel about when people say, like, you should always put your kids first?
Okay. I understand where a lot of people come from when they answer this question. A lot of the times when people go into thinking about this question, they're coming from it as a hurt child. And I can relate to that. You know, there was definitely times where, you know, my mom was not always married. She was very young. So dealing with her and her men's, honey, oh my God. And a lot of the times as a kid, it felt like she was putting them first. Not spouses, little boyfriends, okay? So if you were raised in that type of environment or by like a step parent, which I was, honey, whew. If you've been in that environment or you've been like dealt with like some big childhood traumas, then of course you're gonna say kids first. And I feel you, but you are wrong.
I mean, and in people's mind it makes sense.
Yes.
And Donica says that it's wrong, and I will agree
with that. There's nuance
to
it, but
what I would say, I'm one of those people that likes to get down deep into stuff and like specifics. I would say that it's situational.
Yeah.
On the whole, as an overall for your life, in my opinion, and it seems like Donica's too, your spouse has got to come first. Definitely. You know what I mean? Because eventually your kids grow, they leave your house, they find their own lives, husbands, wives, kids
that they should prioritize.
And if you've prioritized them for minimum 18 years, right? You've been married this whole time and you've prioritized your kids for minimum 18 years. And I say minimum because how many kids do you have? Yeah. How far apart are these kids? You know what I mean? And then you have situations where people don't even know each other when they become empty nesters because you've put your kids first for the last 25 years if you have 3 kids and they're years apart.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why a lot of people, especially, get divorced in their 50s. You see those divorces when people are 50 years old because they're completely different people and they've not grown up together and they don't even know each other anymore because it's been about the kids for the last 25 years, you know?
Definitely.
So you got to put your spouse first.
Yeah, and I will say that, you know, like I said, there's definitely nuance to it. I'm not going to ever accept someone being abusive or mistreating my children, including the woman sitting to the left of me. I would never accept that. there's definitely instances where there's maybe day-to-day instances where your child does have to come first. You know, if everybody needs to eat and, you know, your child is 2 years old, you're not going to go fix your spouse's plate before you feed the 2-year-old. They can go get it themselves. So, I mean, there's definitely nuance to it. I think people just take it to extremes, either, you know, just thinking that, of course, your spouse, for some reason, in people's mind, I think they go straight to, like, this is not a good relationship, and why would you put this bad relationship over your kid? But if you are married, I would hope that you would manifest and work on and be in a good marriage, or you would just end it and be happy elsewhere. So that's where I think a lot of people get caught up with. I am definitely of the same mind frame as Wavy. 20 something years, you're raising kids and that's all you're worried about. What about yourself? What about your self-care? What about your partner, their well-being? You have to put that above everything, or else at the end you will have nothing. You won't have a spouse, you won't have a marriage. And I mean, yeah, you'll have your, you know, kids visiting every once in a while, but you won't even really have yourself if you're prioritizing the kids. They say on the airplane, put your mask on before you put on a child's. And the reason, because if you put the child's on, they can't help you. You will pass out and you will die.
Yeah, and that's just from two people that know each other, love each other, and are on a journey to have kids. You know, we don't have kids right now, but we are in the process of fostering to adopt. So that's where, when I say it's situational, that's what I mean. There are going to be times where your kids come first. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not even talking about because you're struggling. I'm just saying, like, in life, in general, there are going to be times where your kids come first, but you still have to prioritize your relationship with your spouse. That's what they make date nights for. That's what they have texting apps for. That's why you schedule things, like, but in certain times, I mean, if you've got 3 kids and they're all in school and Johnny's got to go to soccer practice and Maria's got band camp and, you know, Jill's got to go to a dress recital for ballet, like, of course you're going to feel like your kids are coming first. But you want them to grow up and have happy lives and be well-rounded. But at the same time, you're not going to put your marriage on the back burner. Mm-hmm. They're going to be side by side, kind of. You got to figure it out.
Figure out a balance. Yeah.
But your kids are never going to be the
number one
on top of your spouse. That's just not okay to me. You know, I see a lot of the times where people say, well, my kid comes first. They're like single moms. And it's like, I mean, I guess I get that.
Yeah.
But you have to realize that in order for you to find somebody, you're also going to have to prioritize that person.
Yeah, and I think it's, you know, it's weird. You guys will get to know us. We don't have kids. We're actually in the process. Like Wavy said, fostering to adopt. We just got our foster care license, and we have 4 empty beds in our house. So we've been licensed to adopt up to 4 kids, which sounds kind of crazy. Probably is. You know, we're still going to do it. We also have tons of kids in our family. Our goddaughter is always here. Her cousins are always here. And there's even times when those kids that are already in our lives that aren't our kids, where we put aside things maybe we wanted to do for each other, to do for them, or to take them somewhere. And, you know, for that moment, to make them feel special, yes, they're the priority. Yes, you know, they are the apple of my eye. I love them. But at the same time, when I'm done with them and we go to bed at night alone, because that's my bed, it's me and my wife. Even if I'm out with them somewhere and she's doing something else, I'm going to text her. I'm going to, you know, make the effort. And I think that's what the point you were getting at. It's side by side. this is a family unit, and to separate the two just seems silly and counterproductive. If I'm not, if me and you aren't good, then what are we really building for our children? That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, we tend to be on the same page, so I agree with that wholeheartedly. When it's your family, you have to kind of bring it all forward and together and upwards as one unit. So, I mean, that's that. And I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with the other portions of what we were talking about, because neither one of us came from perfect backgrounds.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of why we thought these topics were so interesting, because you kind of look and say, hey, what's more important to your spouse or your kids? And you go to like thinking about how you personally grew up, the situations that you were in as a child. Because I mean, going into just parenting styles, like, my parents are completely different.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh, to this day.
I don't know what they put first, to be quite honest. Like, I mean, I
love them to death, but so confused.
No clue. Like, because it wasn't them. It wasn't themselves. I mean, I get, you know what? I guess it was. My parents are selfish and they don't communicate. That I guess that's what it boils down to. And I mean, they've gotten better now. So just a little background. My parents were married. They got married before I was born. I'm my mom's oldest child. My dad's middle child. They got married before I was born. Had me, had my sister. Then got divorced when my sister was 15 officially. They got separated when I was a junior in high school. So I was 17. And then they got back together. Like when my sister was like 17, like they got back together because they loved each other. But the problem is that my parents got together at the same age that me and Donica got together. Yeah. And they just did not communicate, and they did not grow together. Yeah, they had their own things going on. They never told each other about, you know, what they had going on, how they felt. They never communicated with each other. It was just always inner dialogue. So they didn't put their marriage first, but they didn't put the kids first either. You know, it's just that thing where, like, what did y'all even have going on? Because my mom is, like, very soft-spoken. She always had a kind word for us, like, always had great advice, like, advice I still listen to this day. Yeah. And then my dad was just, like, not communicative. He barely talked to us. And it's like, we'll get into it now as adults over stuff that he did when I was younger. And he really just does not understand. Like, in his mind, he did it all right. And that is just crazy. Like, no parent does everything right. God. Like, but my dad, like, for a lot of the times he played the victim, man. And it's like, I'm not blaming you for stuff. You did the best that you knew how to do at the time. But that doesn't make it right. You can still be wrong doing the best you knew how to do, Definitely. You know? But his parenting style was very, like, stoic, like, never saying I love you. We used to get in trouble. Well, not we. My little sister never got in trouble for anything because at that point my parents were separated and he didn't have really no say. I used to get in trouble for everything, y'all. Like, everything. Like, I did not do anything, sir. Why am I in trouble? You know what I mean? So he was just that type of guy to where when I got older, like, I didn't even want to communicate with this man. Like, I really didn't talk to him like that. I don't need anything from you. Like, he would literally get mad because he'd be like, the only time you call me is when you need $20. Like, I mean, yeah. I need $20. So, I mean, so are you gonna send me that $20 or not? Because if not, I'll call my mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's better now. We definitely have a better relationship now that I'm older, and I kind of realized that he did what he could do with what he had. But that doesn't make it right.
Definitely. And, you know, moving into the journey towards parenthood, we've both kind of try to grow as much as we can, because I think we both understand the concept of doing the best you can, but it not being quite right. She had the situation with her parents. My mom was just super young when she had me and my brothers. I was, my mom was 17 when she had me, and I'm the middle child. So she was on and popping. Okay. I remember when my mom turned 21. I remember, her getting her first tattoo. I told my grandma, she ended up getting in trouble. So, I mean, me and my mom, we almost had like a big sister, little sister thing going, where she would do stuff and I would literally go snitch on her. Like, Grandma, guess what? So, and she did the best she could with what she had. And we're all older now and kind of dealing with the aftermath. But I would prefer to know better first, know as much as I can now, because I know I'm not going to be a perfect parent, but I would love for my kids to be like, you know what, my mom, maybe she made a few mistakes here and there, but I could always count on her and I could always depend on her. And, I know if I needed to talk to her, I could go to her. That's the type of parent that I want to be. And who I am as a woman, I'm trying to grow to become that parent now, so I am prepared to provide that type of thing to our kids.
Definitely. And I mean, we're both kind of on the same track. Like, I want to be the type of parent that my mom was,
I also want to be the type of parent that her mom was.
I mean, guys, I have a great mom.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And I would never tell you that living with my mom as a kid was perfect. We struggled, especially after my parents split. And that's not to say that my dad didn't support us, because that's absolutely not true. But at the same time, he was also supporting his own household because they were separated. So, he paid child support or whatever, but my mom was raising 2 girls. You know what I'm saying? So we needed things, and she worked, and we struggled. But there was never a time where I felt like I could not go to my mom for something and she make it happen. Mm-hmm. It also kind of teaches you to be appreciative of the things that you have. I definitely come from one of those families where we appreciate the things that we receive. The things that we're able to get, the things that we have, the experiences that we have, because that's just how we grew up. You grow and you realize that, like, you should be appreciative for things. And I want to kind of pass that on to my children. Definitely. That's one of those things where, as a parent, when it comes to me parenting, I don't have a lot of expectations of what I want my kids to become. When they get older, there are just certain things that I want to pass down to them, and I hope that they incorporate into their being as one of their morals. Definitely. And maybe pass down to their own kids. And as far as the type of parent I want to be, that's really all I have. I want to be able to teach you. I want you to feel comfortable coming to me if you need something. But other than that, I mean, what else is there? Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I want my kid to be the best football player ever. Or, whatever the case may be. That's just not me, Yeah,
they actually, when you go through becoming a licensed foster parent, you have to do a home study, which is basically asking you about every little thing that's ever happened in your childhood, and then also just a million things about how you will treat these kids. And some of the questions are really weird. One of the questions was, what do you expect from your future kids? And I was like, I don't know them. So, we're both very free-spirited and creative, and just what matters to us is the insides and those life lessons or those core values in creating a environment where our kids can grow and become good people,
where they can thrive.
Yes, I don't necessarily need my kid to be an astronaut or like Bill Gates or anything. I want them to be happy and loved, and the type of guy that holds the door open for somebody or stops on the side of the road and helps somebody with a tire change. That's the type of kids that I, want. So, I mean, we're also on the same page about that. And it kind of helps moving forward as we transition closer and closer any day now towards parenthood. It's good that we are on the same page because these divorce rates is high, y'all. I don't know. Divorce is an option, but I don't want to go down that road. I'd like to have my cozy little family with my little wife.
Yeah, and I think, one of the things that they kind of ask you about as well whenever you're getting ready to be a foster parent is... Dang, y'all, I just lost my train of thought. I'll be tripping. Divorce. It was something about divorce. But, I mean, it is what it is. I think... she's laughing at me, guys.
It's going to happen, y'all.
Because if I don't write it down... I don't even know what it was. I could have been thinking about it 0.2 seconds ago. No clue. Don't know. It's over.
It's fun. It's unexpected. It's unpredictable. What are you going to get next? Nothing? Something? We don't know. We have no clue. This is the first episode.
She ain't gotta be like that. But yeah, even on the fostering thing, like they kind of really dig deep into who you are, what you want out of this, situation. And I mean, I think for me that was an important aspect. Like, they make you think. Yeah. They make you grow, Definitely. And if you go through, especially we're in Texas, so if you go through the whole foster to adopt process and you haven't grown and you don't change at least a little bit of how you thought that you were going to be a parent, then it's probably not for you. And I mean, it has really opened our eyes to how we want to be as far as being parents, man. It really has. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just where we are. So yeah, I mean, why is it red?
I don't know.
At least now we know it stops at 30 seconds. So I mean, yeah, that's just a little bit about us and just how we feel about some topics, man, about a couple things as far as like putting your spouse first.
Yes. Parenting styles. Hopefully you guys have gotten to know us just a little bit more. We definitely appreciate you guys for hanging out with us today, listening to our voices.
If you want to see our faces, hit us up on that YouTube channel. Wifey in Wifey, the letter N, Wifey. Yes.
So we're Wifey in the letter N, Wifey, on all platforms, including Instagram. Hopefully we can get some good posts, some good conversations. How do you feel about this topic? Do you think that we're wrong? That's okay. We can talk about it. Also, like we said, we are on YouTube. These episodes, the videos, are wonderful faces. You can see me get all ADHD and play with stuff as we're recording. Then, if you enjoyed the podcast, subscribe, keep listening. We have so much more in store. So excited. Leave reviews on Apple Podcasts and wherever else you can get reviews. Send this podcast, share it with, your spouse or maybe someone that's interested in becoming a foster parent or adopting. You can also donate to us at buymeacoffee.com/wifey, the letter N, wifey. For as low as $1 a day, you can sponsor us. I told you we have 4 empty beds in this house and many children, obviously, to feed. We need the help.
It's been nice getting on here with you guys, and we will catch you guys next time. Peace.